There are scary books. There are disturbing books. And then there are books that quietly break into your home, rearrange your furniture, and then leave a note saying, "You are not safe." Most people think the scariest thing in literature is a monster, or a murder, or if you're really unlucky, a Nicholas Sparks novel. But no. The truly terrifying stuff, it's subtle. It's the line you almost skim past. The sentence you think is harmless until you realise it's the emotional equivalent of a landmine. Today I want to talk about one line. Just one. A single, simple line that makes my stomach fucking drop every time I hear it. A line so bleak, it doesn't scream, it whispers. And somehow, that's worse. So let's talk about the book in question. It's a novel you probably read in school, or pretended to. There's a statistic that I saw somewhere that apparently 40% or something like that, 40% of people that claim to have read this book are lying. So take that as you will, but maybe you've only seen the cover with the giant staring eye and assumed it was just British Black Mirror, but it's not. Maybe you've only heard the vocabulary, the phrases that have become commonplace in our fucking language. 1984. It's 1984. I'm talking about 1984. It was published in 1949, written in 1948, 1984, 1948. This was back when cigarettes were still considered part of a balanced breakfast. Orwell looked around him at the post-war world and he said, what would happen if this got as bad as it could possibly get? And then he wrote a book about that shit. The plot is deceptively simple, right? Winston, a sad little man with sad little dreams, a sad little job, and a permanently clenched jaw. He lives in a dystopian nightmare where the government monitors everything you do, your work, your relationships, your thoughts. It's not just a surveillance state, it's a surveillance religion. And the god is Keir Starmer. It's Big Brother. Winston, because Winston has the audacity to have inner thoughts and a shred of fucking romantic longing. He eventually commits the ultimate crime. He falls in love and realises that he is a fucking individual person, basically. Like a fucking fool. Like a human being. Like someone who still believes that there's a world outside of the walls of his tiny, soul-crushing existence. Naturally, he gets caught by the state for doing... Well, I won't give away too much. I'm going to spoil fucking 1984, but I won't give away too much. But of course he gets fucking caught by the state. What follows is not a dramatic rescue. There's no escape plan. There's no underground rebellion. This isn't fucking Star Wars, right? What follows is one of the most methodical, hopeless, psychologically violating breakdowns in all of literature. It's not just torture he receives, it's reprogramming. The government doesn't just want him to obey, it wants him to believe. Right, so here's where Orwell earns his horror stripes, in my opinion. Most dystopian fiction relies on spectacle of some sort, explosions, mass revolts, dramatic speeches in front of grey concrete buildings, but not Orwell. No. Orwell doesn't give you the fire, the fury. He gives you silence. He gives you a man in a room being told that 2 + 2 = 5, and then being punished until he agrees with that, not just out loud, but in his mind, in his soul. That's the point. You don't just lose your freedom, you lose your ability to know that you ever had any in the fucking first place. The ultimate goal of the party isn't to make you submit, it's to make you love the fact you've been submitted. And that brings us to the line. After everything he's endured, Winston, he has betrayed the woman he loved. He's tortured and starved and hollowed out and rebuilt like a fucking taxidermied version of his fucking former self. He's then just released. He's a free man. Well, technically. He goes to cafes, he drinks gin, he smokes cigarette, he exists in the world. And then, the final line. No dramatic swell, no final battle, just the line. He loved Big Brother. That's it. That's the ending. That's the fucking horror. And, right, okay, let's dissect it, right? He loved Big Brother. Not he feared, not he obeyed, not that he fucking reconciled, not that he humoured, not that he lied to survive. He loved. That's the win condition of that regime. Not compliance. Devotion. They didn't just beat Winston. They rewrote him. This isn't horror about pain. It's horror about identity. About how fragile the human mind really is. Winston believed he was resisting, believed he could hold on to some fucking private corner of his own soul, some last inch that was still his. Do you know what I mean? But Orwell's world doesn't allow that. No, there's no fucking privacy, no rebellion, not even inside your own fucking skull. And by the end of it, Winston doesn't just lose. He doesn't remember that he was ever able to try. That line is disturbing to me, not because it's loud, it's because it's quiet, it's final. It's a soft-spoken obituary for free thought. He loved Big Brother as the sound of hope being permanently deleted. So you might be thinking, okay, but it's fiction, right? It's not real, and it's, well, yeah, sure, we're not quite there yet, but the mechanisms, the slow erosion of truth, of reality, the gaslighting, the manipulation of language, of facts, of memory, it's all here, man, with a fucking vengeance. It's been here. I know it's like pure bullshit and hipster and cringe to like, oh, it's just like we live in 1984. That's not what I'm doing. 1984 is fucking horrific. It's not, we don't live in 19, but it's, the mechanisms are certainly there and are certainly, the cogs, these certain cogs within these systems are being rotated. They fucking are. It's undeniable. Let's say, I know it's cringe and like the edgelord version of Live, Laugh, Love to be like compare ourselves to 1984, but it's like certain systems within it certainly are comparable to what we live in today. The horror isn't that Orwell's ending isn't that it could happen. It's not that it happened, it's that it could happen, that it always can happen, that is the logical conclusion of all of this shit. Like, that's all Orwell was doing. He looked at Russia and all that, and he was like, right, well, what's the logical conclusion? You do the same shit, man, it's just he already wrote it. But if people were doing the same thing, they would be coming up with the same sort of idea as what Orwell came up with. Orwell didn't give a shit what you believed. Orwell just wanted you to know that... He just wanted to know that when you're out alone in the cold, desperate and starving and hungry and alone, you will say you love Big Brother. So yeah, to me, that is the most disturbing line from a book I've ever fucking read. I think about it often. It's a line so short, it barely even qualifies as a fucking sentence, and yet it's long enough to eulogize an entire fucking person. He loved Big Brother. It's not just the end of a story, it's the end of a man. And maybe that's the most terrifying part of all. The poor fucking prick didn't even know it.